Hello everyone, my name's Ian. Welcome back to my hobby YouTube channel, In Brief Book and Film Reviews. So it is Monday morning. Before I go to work, I just wanted to give a book review to this magnificent book that I read yesterday. Finished up reading yesterday. This book is called This Is the Life, Days and Nights in the GAA, and it's written by Ciarán Murphy. Before I talk about the book and what I got out of it, I just want to explain to people who are not familiar with the acronym GAA. So it basically stands for the Gaelic Athletic Association of Ireland. So in Ireland, like over in America and other countries, we have our own sports that we play, and the GAA is an establishment that basically promotes community sports and stuff like that at an amateur level. We're going to leave links into the video on that, the description down on the description of the video on that, and I'll show you in regards to the GAA the types of games that we play, which would be Gaelic football, which is played with your hands and your feet, hurling, camogie, handball. It's a fantastic and a beautiful organisation. I'm very proud to be. It's just a standout organisation for me in Ireland, and it's something that I'm very proud as an Irish person to have witnessed and been involved in some element. Some people in Ireland, they're not very fond of the GAA. There's a lot of people that have nothing got to do with it, but the majority of the people, I would say about 85% of the people in Ireland are involved in it from a very early stage, and they stay with it all through their lives and stuff. Yeah, it's, what can I say? I can make another video on that, but I just want to focus on the book itself. So Ciarán is I think he's a media personality now, and that he used to have star in a show called Seconds Captain, which was a weekly show that would bring in sporting people from all over in Ireland, whether they were boxers, GAA personalities, soccer players, whatever, and they would give interviews to the people and that about the experiences within the game and stuff. And that, I remember tuning in once. I didn't really get a chance to watch it often and that because I was always walking and stuff. And I remember seeing Joe Cannon on the show, the famous Galway hurler, and you know, Joe is probably one of my favourite GAA players of all time, along with Henry Shefflin, hurlers anyway. And yeah, so he is basically he's the author of this book, and he goes into great detail about his experience right from a childhood into his adulthood of being involved in a GAA grassroots level, his family, the what it takes you know, from your life and stuff, and the commitment and stuff, and it's breathtaking. It really is. The book is great because he just starts off with about his father, the sacrifices his daddy made growing up as a kid. He talks about the school, his school, St. Jarlath's, his club, Milltown. And it goes on and that, and it just like I familiarize myself with what he wrote in the book, because it's like a reversal for me, and that he talks about his experience of growing up in Galway and having to go to work in Dublin. Well, it was different for me. I'd be in growing up in Dublin and living in Roscommon and that, so it's I understand like the commute and your allegiances to your commitments and stuff and that, you know, so I got that as well within the book. And that I felt a lot of emotions when I was reading this book and that, you know, like, and I have to say, you really penciled it in that you went back with the history and stuff and that of all different clubs, the clubs that he's involved in Dublin also as well. And it's just it's an extraordinary book. The book was written in 2023, September 2023. It's 227 pages before the acknowledgements, and it was released by Sandy Cove, which is a Sandy Cove Penguin Sandy Cove. Yeah, another great book by Sandy Cove also, I must say. Sandy Cove, they always bring out great books, and this book is quite different from the average GAA book or the usual GAA book, in the sense that most GAA books are autobiographies by former players who give details about, you know, the childhood and growing up and the GAA and what they went through. But this is different. It's from a club level right up to, giving stories into the counties and going into Crow Park and stuff like that, and it's just different, and it's just really, really good. It's like when you're sitting there, you're kind of looking at it from a supporter of the GAA's point of view on that. So like, I grew up in a different country, I never got a chance to play GAA whatsoever and that, but I love it, I marvel at it. I remember being in the Dublin versus Kerry All Ireland 2011 final when Dublin hadn't won in 16 years. We were on a bit of a drought and we won. I predicted the score exactly the way it was going to be, Dublin by 1 point, and that's what we did. We bet them by 1 point. And it gives great detail about the loyalties kind of thing and that, you know, from your club. And I was with him on every page. I felt like I was with him, you know, like I was sitting next to him and he was telling me about his experiences and stuff and that within the GAA. It was just such a great book and that, a joy to read, and I'm delighted that he brought it out and that, I have to say. So if you're looking for a book to read and that, good GAA book, I have to recommend this book to you, and that absolutely phenomenal book. I could literally go harp on about this book all day. Really good. It gives a special mention also to Sean Porchel at the end as well, which maybe choke a little bit, you know, like. And I regard myself as an All-Islander, you know, like. I love going all over Ireland. I love going up to Derry, down to Kerry, Waterford, Sligo. Galway is like a second home to me, and that it really is, and that it's beautiful. One of my favourite counties in Ireland, along with Kerry as well and that. So when he was talking about, I have my own personal memories about Galway and going down there and studying as well and that, you know. And when he's talking to me, is like, it's just when he's writing the book, it's like he's talking to me and that, you know, about experiences, which is such a great book and that, you know. If you're a GAA head, you're gonna love this book, you know. And even if you're not a GAA head, you're gonna appreciate the book and that. Great vocabulary of words also as well that he uses. And yeah, I could just go on about this all day and that, but a phenomenal book and that. The history and the depth that he goes into about talking about certain people and brothers and cousins and stuff, the knowledge that the guy has within. And you know, it's just like, I've been living in Roscommon now for the last 18 years. I feel like a culture, and I regard myself as both a Dub and a Rossi as well and that, you know. So I can understand where he's coming from, where he talks about like the commute and stuff and that, you know, and he, you know, being in one place and the next place, and I you know, I really familiarised myself with that, and it was just a fantastic book on that. And the one thing about the GAA, it stays in your heart forever. You don't have to have played it, you don't have to have like be good at it, you know. Like when you go to Crow Park and you feel the warmth, it's for me the only game in the world that you can go where you're sitting next to sit next to fans of the opposing team, you know. I remember I was with my family one time and we were playing Mayo, and you know, bless them in that Mayo, and that, you know, it'll be a long time before they win the Sam Maguire. Hopefully we sooner, because I'm always cheering them on and that, you know, when they're playing, even when they're playing against Dublin and Kerry and that. My two family teams and that, I'm always cheering Mayo because I just wanted to win the All Ireland and get it over and done with. You know, so I'd be there with them, and then Mayo had beaten Dublin, I think it was in the quarters one year, and I basically turned around and shook every Mayo person's hand that was next to me. I've never got that in any other sport where you know, you can have a point or a chat with the opposing team supporters and that. So I could harp on all day about this, but I'm not going to anyway. So yeah, fantastic book. Get out, buy it. Fantastic. Really happy that I bought it. Anyway, stay blessed, stay positive as always, and I'll see you again hopefully next week. And that, take care. Bye bye.